I think this is like the back end of this screen, and then
Oh, that.
it's gonna be around like 2 minutes behind,
Okay.
or a minute behind, and then this is like the little chat.
Okay.
But
Are we able to see like if anybody's watching it?
it's just us right now.
Okay.
Are we ready?
I think so. I'm gonna play camera operator.
Cool. Hello, everyone, to our October LISSA meeting. First off, I'd like to welcome everyone. Also, did you guys get the agenda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think in the future, I'll probably send out the agenda with the announcement or post it on the blog. That way, if anyone else wants to add like an item to it, they will be able to do so earlier on. I would also like to welcome our first year representatives, Morgan and Faith, who should be here. She works in elementary school, and they get out looking for us. But so yeah, are you looking forward to working?
I am looking forward to it.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so another thing I would like to, we have a raffle. We have the winner for the raffle. I've not had the chance to email them yet, but I will do that probably either during the meeting or right after the meeting, depending on what happens. Should we say who it is, or should we?
I think it's in here, Amy.
Yeah.
Amy Pleasant.
Amy Pleasant. Look forward to an email. We will need your t-shirt size. Also, we can get some stuff gathered. Lily, I'll talk to you about the awesome thing. So,
Do you want me to send an email
to
maybe this person?
So that's done. Now officer reports. Most of my reporting has to do with stuff for events. So I am thinking about holding off on that until we get to that section. But I also went to the GSA meeting with Ethan, so we can tell you about that here in a bit. I also talked to Mike Crumpton about doing the NCLA conference with Brianne Crumpton. His daughter. Okay, yes. Chase is nodding. Good. So we're going to work together with student groups. We're trying to get that finalized before we actually reach out to other student groups that are related to LIS profession in North Carolina. So we'll keep you posted on that. Last time I talked about it, everyone seemed generally encouraged that they want to be a part of NCLA. So that's moving along nicely. Also, if anyone, we need members for the diversity committee, or the University Library's diversity committee. So if anyone is interested in that, please let me know. Because one, I'm graduating, and two, we usually have 2 student members, but we only have 1. So
what does that entail? Is that somewhere?
What if you're interested, let me know, and I can get you in touch with Gerald Holmes. Right now, mostly what I do is act as kind of say what students would like in terms of diversity and inclusion. Try to get stuff set up with LISSA. Talk to people. SCUA. It's just.
Is it like a monthly meeting?
Yeah, it's a monthly meeting.
Okay.
Is it just for libraries or is it for like the entire campus?
Just for the university library.
Just for university library.
Yeah. And if you're interested, let me know. And I will send you over to, or I can go to homes and I can get you all sorted.
Is there a website? Do they have like a online presence or anything where we can find more information about it?
Not a lot of stuff. We do have the strategic plan, which I can send you.
Okay.
That should be. If you check out the Jackson library.uncg.edu, they have the diversity blog.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Yeah, I was just going to report about the Graduate Student Association. We've sent out a couple of emails about some events that are coming up. We got a lot of information in this recent meeting. A lot of it isn't necessarily relevant for, I think, most people in this program. So the graduate school has a website that does have information, resources. So they have things. A lot of this stuff is really for PhD students, but there's a program preparing future leaders that helps with resumes, and that could be something that people in this program could also use. They have grant writing workshops, dissertation boot camp. We don't really have PhD students here. The president of the GSA did a pretty long and detailed report about meeting with I think really like the undergraduate student leaders and some of the major issues that they're concerned about. So there are a couple of issues that are relevant. So things like parking, there are discussions, I think in the graduate student GSA, Graduate Student Association, and for the undergrads about the issue of parking and how to improve that. So one of the things someone mentioned in the meeting is just the signs for the lots are tiny. The print is so small you can barely see it if you're not right there. There are these discussions on campus. So just for people to be aware of that, there are, if you feel unsafe on campus at night for walking, there's a non-emergency student escort. So I have a number for that. Sarah sent out the meeting minutes a few days, probably like a few days ago, that has like all this information. But any of the stuff that I mentioned, let me know if you need more information. So events coming up. The one thing is the self-defense workshops. We sent out a message about that. So if you're interested in that, I think these are basically just like one-time classes. If you're interested in learning more about self-defense, they're free. The GSA is sponsoring those, and this business local Greensboro Martial Arts Academy is offering these for free, basically, which is very nice. And there was also an interest in having massage sessions that they haven't been scheduled yet, but basically just for relaxation for graduate students. So that will be something coming up. I'm not sure exactly when it will happen. I was going to mention, and I'm going to try not to editorialize. Early voting will actually be occurring in the Kaplan Center, so the new fitness center, starting tomorrow. So I think as long as you're registered to vote in Guilford County, you can vote there for a few days. So in Guilford County, there's only been one early voting location until tomorrow. So I was going to announce that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on. I'll go to the Coliseum if the gym is packed. The Coliseum is 3 blocks down the road.
It's a early voting location. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you did go to Kaplan, honestly.
Yeah, and even I think even if you're not registered, you can register at those early voting locations. And we have a big part of the stuff we're voting on is just voting privileges or voting rights. So there are major restrictions. There have been major restrictions on voting in North Carolina, and it's controversial, but it's important to actually vote.
And I want to say, isn't there a research guide or a LibGuide made by university libraries on voting?
There is.
So that might be useful too, if we can track it down to
Yeah.
link up with that.
Have it. Looking at it together.
Or even put it on the Facebook
That'd be good.
Page 2. Because do you have to be a university member to have access to those research guides? So that might be a useful source of information.
Did anyone who was at the GSA meeting have anything to add? Things that were really important?
Let's see. I think you did miss this stuff. They talked about the campus development, like Spartan Village, Part 2, which will have a grocery store,
Yeah, so
which might be relevant to people.
the
who live on
construction
campus.
that's happening beside the new fitness center. So if you know, there's a lot of construction there. Yeah, it's gonna be like a new, are there gonna be apartments in there?
Yeah,
Plus like
they're,
a full, they're claiming they're gonna have a full grocery store.
yeah, it's for people like, if like, because I know some grad students live in Los Angeles, so like, you can have a grocery store. But another thing, they also have a few committees, spots available with GSA if you're interested. They need, they have grievance committee. I don't think anyone is on that right now. They said that they don't usually meet very often. It's like if there's something going on within a department, the grievance committee evaluates and then decides what actions to take. There's also the green committee. They need people for that, so sustainability. And some representatives for the Alumni Teaching Awards, which would require you to review proposals throughout November and December on teaching awards. So if you're interested in that.
And I give big plug. I think especially those who want to work in academic libraries, this kind of committees would be very useful for you. And also it would look good on your resumes when you apply for those jobs. So you know, and from the angle too. So some of them may require a little bit more work than others, but you know, let's check your schedules and
Sarah Maeve, you said that it was a committee for alumni.
There's the grievance committee, the green committee, and the Alumni Teaching Awards.
Okay.
And is there a contact for those?
Yes. Well, for that one, they didn't really give us a.
That's something that you just contact GSA directly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
GSA, yeah,
email
look
GSA.
at their, look at the GSA website.
Would it be in the minutes from the last meeting?
I'm looking at the minutes now. There's not a lot of contact information. Just look at the GSA website and you should be able to find somebody to
Like a
contact.
general email?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean,
nothing like
yeah,
that.
their officers, they respond fairly quickly to email. So there's a young woman basically in charge of communications. What do you know your Joy's last name?
No.
But she would be a contact for any of this. And if you just send, they'll have a general email that they'll respond to pretty quickly.
Yeah, I messaged the VP for programming, he messaged me back in like 5 minutes. Okay, cool. So, you good with VP? Treasure report.
Yay. There's not a lot to say for the treasurers. The State Employees Credit Union account is officially completely closed and all funds have been deposited into the UNCG account. Our total balance is $976.83, which is what it was at the last meeting. And the only question I had, if anyone has an answer for it, I still have all of the documents, bank statements, and information about the credit union account. I don't know how long we need to keep these, if we need to keep them, and if so, where, because I'm not a permanent storage solution for them. So I don't know what we want to do with that.
That would be something the department would decide.
storage facility, and I missed.
A storage facility for the state employees, like the
The banking
bank statements and
documents.
stuff like that.
I mean, you can put it in my office if you want to. I mean, I have nice
Permanent storage.
space available, but you know,
Okay.
or unless you want to have something in the GA room, but otherwise, you can put it in my office however you want.
Okay.
I think
It's nothing
better
we're
to
gonna
do it in
need
my
access to. I just need to
Yeah.
keep it for a certain amount of time.
I know, like, usually, I think you're supposed to keep, like, those kinds of documents for, like, what, 3 years or something?
Something, yeah. So.
Just in case
Okay.
we audited.
Yeah, well, we can check with Greg maybe if he has something in his office. It might be much easier for you guys to get to all the time. I mean, not that you can get to my office, but
Right. I don't think we'll need access to it, but that might be good.
yeah,
It's-
yeah. If you
I'm sure they
have
have
some
space in
space for it in
Are
Greg's
they, are they
office.
just paper
That would
documents?
be great. Yeah, it's just paper in a folder.
How big is it?
Like, I don't know. It's like one of those binder folder things
Yeah,
that
like
like
one of the
closes.
I mean, even J room would be okay, but I think for just
I don't know.
safety
I can-
reasons and everything
Yeah.
else.
I can contact Greg. And
Yeah, I think
see it,
yeah.
just because I don't want it going from hands to hands and then
Yeah.
people graduating and then no one knows where it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you can assign just LISSA thing,
Right.
so we can get
Okay,
everything.
great.
Also found the thing for the photos, so I can put that on.
That's all.
Okey-dokey. Are we ready for next? Secretary.
Okay, hi everybody. In terms of news that I have, I'm actually really excited. I'm going to get to represent LISSA for Safe Zone training. There's 3 different sessions that I'm going to go to. One is November 4th, which is Safe Zone 1.0. There's another one November 11th, which is the second part. And then the third is specifically focusing on what is called Trans Zone, and that's near the end of November. And so I'm just gonna basically get to learn the concepts and insights presented in those meetings and get to represent LISSA for that. So I'm really excited. And then in other news, I've been periodically checking back over our little LISSA Google Doc for interested students, for students that fill out the application document and just want to know more about LISSA. And we have 45, so that it's up just a little bit, not much from the last meeting, but I actually just sent out a new email to a new student today. So yep, our numbers are looking up, and after this meeting, once we have this recorded, I can send it out to those people that are on the email list.
Awesome, thank you so much. Social media.
Cool. So there's not a whole lot to report in the world of social media. We have a handful of additional followers on Facebook and Twitter, but that's really it.
Yay.
Yeah, so that's my report.
Cool. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in doing like a blog, not like maybe like a every other month kind of thing.
Yeah, like just set up a regular blog schedule.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Content.
Yeah. So
Going on the LIS program. Here's one we think is pretty awesome about libraries. It's like a way to interact.
yeah, that sounds good. I can do one for for November. Yeah, and then we could each do one
Yeah.
once a month kind
Yeah,
of
like if we were
deal.
all
Is that
able to
too
do it.
infrequent? I don't know. I don't know much about blogging.
I think once a month for what we have. I
Yeah.
think once a month would be
Okay.
okay. And if everyone could do one, that would be perfect.
Will this just be on our WordPress, like on our?
Yeah. And then I guess we can link it out to
Mhm.
Facebook.
Does anyone want to just go ahead and volunteer to do the one for December?
I will do it.
Okay.
And well, since we're on the topic of blogs, of just from different websites that I've managed from different associations that professors are involved with, I've noticed that they like to have some like sort of blog on like Blogster or some type of other platform outside of WordPress because like the WordPress blog functions aren't that great. So actually like on WordPress they just like link out. They just have like a little tab on WordPress and then it links out to like another platform like Blogger or something.
Google just bought Blogger recently, so you can access it via your Google account through UNCG.
Yeah, if you're comfortable, we could use Blogger to write our own blog since we're organized.
You can share editing capabilities the same as you can with Google Docs.
Cool. That sounds good. Awesome. Yay. Are we good? First year representative.
Hey.
I put the
Hi, I'm the first year representative. So I know that this is still a fairly new position. So I actually initially had questions about what the first year representative did last year, which I think you were the first year representative last year, correct? Was there anything that was done last year that was successful, or a program or any kind of initiatives that were started last year with the first year representative that LISSA is interested in bringing forth this year as well?
Mostly what I did last year was, Lily and Chase were there as well, and Lindsay in the spring semester, and Ethan. So, except for people who weren't here yet. So basically, what I just brought attention to what first year students wanted, more interest in or more accessibility to LISSA itself through social media, announcing meeting times. I tried to work, because I was also on the diversity committee at that point as well, so I tried to bring some of that stuff in, but also just to see what we could do this year for the most part, like how we could improve going on, as well as attending events. If you can be a face for LISSA with other LISSA people, that would be amazing.
Okay, and then I also wondered if other LISSA members had any input on what they would like the first year representative to do for the group itself. Any thoughts on that?
I don't think I have any suggestions.
Okay.
With the technology piece, I guess.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Okay.
But yeah, is it fair to say there's a some freedom to make it up?
Okay. All right.
Do things that you think are important for first year students.
Okay. Well, I had some thoughts, just very general thoughts on some ideas for ways to make LISSA more accessible for first year students. I think a UNCG library tour would be very valuable for new students, especially students that maybe have been outside of are coming from outside of a large university, which I think is a good proportion of us, or didn't go to UNCG. So I know that might pose some issues for some of our distance students, but I'm always surprised at how many of our distance students live within a commutable range. So I think that might be a fun idea to do. And, whether that's done in the fall or maybe done in the fall and the spring is a possibility. But I think it'd be neat to just kind of see what Jackson does, what SKUA does. I didn't actually even realize Schiffman was where Schiffman was. I went on an adventure, found Schiffman. It was kind of a cool experience. So maybe working with the directors if they're accessible, or the outreach librarians if they have them. I'm getting just a tour set up for that.
Cool. Yeah.
Great idea.
Usually for tours, for like a general library tour, we did them for SOAR students. And it just went around Jackson, but I think SCUA would be interested in doing a tour. And I can talk with Sarah Dorsey and Schiffman.
Do we think that it would be something we would want to do in the fall and the spring, or would we want to target it just for the fall, or just do it as a special kind of one-off event?
I think fall, as an incoming student in the spring semester, it would have been really cool for me, I think. So if it's possible to do it both semesters, I think that would be really helpful.
I think so too.
There aren't many students that come in during the spring, but
we want you to feel welcome and loved too.
yeah.
I'll think either fall and spring or just spring.
Okay.
For this year, and then make it a thing to do in the fall next year.
Right. And then that allows people that missed the fall tour.
Yeah,
to get another
good point.
chance.
So maybe I can partner, since you work at both SKUA and Jackson. We can talk offline and get some names together, and then do you think would it be feasible to hit all 3-4 libraries in one day? Do you
People
think?
have done it.
Okay.
I know they do, because I've talked to Carolyn, and she's like, oh yeah, and Aaron, and they're like, oh, there's a tour, and they just hand people off. It's usually for doctoral students.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something that they do.
And I know Lori Sams down the TRC loves LISSA, and she was already saying, because I ran this idea briefly by her, that if we wanted to end in the TRC, that there's possibility of just like having like some cookies and punch or something waiting there for refreshments.
That's a great
There you go. So we can talk more about that, maybe get something planned for the spring. I also just generally was thinking of just like a general interest form, which I didn't really know from what Chase said. Sounds like there already is one, but making that visible, maybe like on social media, especially like right at the beginning of the year, to elicit feedback. And I think doing what you all did with 600 classes as well was really useful. So I think that's something that should probably continue.
Maybe if we put it kind of permanently in our social media profiles, to make it really easy for people to fill out the form.
Yeah, because I think it would get responses from people who are interested in the LIS program, but also people that are having a hard time making friends or connections, and then we can open a gateway for that. And then the last idea that was running in my head was like a welcome banquet of some variety. I had talked to Lily briefly before the meeting that there are some funds available through
the Student Government Association.
Through the Student Government Association, specifically for banquety kind of things. And I know we kind of did one in tandem with graduate orientation in the fall, but maybe have maybe separate it. I don't know if that would be more effective or not, but do like a really informal spread and have people that maybe have faculty available to come and talk to new students. And then we can even, talk with Faith, the distance, see what she thinks is feasible for them as well, like doing off-site kind of orientations. I don't know, but that was because I thought that would be useful to get to know people who are.
Like a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
I know we did a meet and greet, or we tried to do meet and greets last year with the webinar and stuff. Dr. Chow was at one, Dr. Burke was at one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
In different places.
Some different
North
classes.
Carolina.
And
I don't
like
think
in
they
different
were,
hubs.
The e-hubs.
they
Yeah,
weren't
the
very
e-hubs.
successful.
Okay.
We had people in Charlotte.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they had a couple people show up when they went to Asheville, but I can't do it.
Probably
There were very few people. for most of the locations, they have
Yeah,
very
for
few
us.
students of our student distance
Some
instruction came.
I think the year before it was fairly successful. I think we had a nice partnership with the library. They did grant for the makerspace grant. So actually they did demos and they had this e-hubs for meet and greets. So we had a very good turnout in those meetings, but last year it wasn't necessarily that successful. So I don't know how we are going to do them this year. Didn't come up yet as well. I don't know faculty meetings. Yeah. And there's this Azalea conference in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So probably may do another one in that place, at the same time, but I don't know. So,
Well, again, maybe it might be something Faith, myself, and you could talk offline about and see what is available, so we can come back the next meeting and have an idea if it's something the group itself is interested in. And then the eHub idea, I even thought, I think we had brought this up last meeting about just even traveling to some of these, like Charlotte and Asheville, and maybe that would be a good time if we're physically traveling as a group to those places.
Yeah.
Then invite other distant students to meet us there. So
That would be good.
sorry that took so long. That's all I have.
I think one of the reasons why last year's e-hubs didn't work as well is because they were attached to another library function. So if it was just a standalone, like, hey, meet us at this bar,
Mm-hmm.
then.
and also you may even think about some sort of team, so that would be more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So they may get something other than just meeting, get out of those meetings, other than just meeting with you guys. So just think about something if we can, that would be of interest to our students. I think that would be pretty good for us as well.
Do you think like trying to find like an institution in that area that would allow us to come and like talk to them or
That might be
travel
one
with
thing,
them?
or if you find an interesting topic.
Okay.
For example, like 2 years ago, we had this maker spaces. Maybe
Right.
you can come up with Savvy Library, something
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
attractive. So
Cool.
Awesome. Like Scuba's doing with the events at Gibbs.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Like they have an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Because it's something you can like promote and
Yeah.
share and
Yeah.
I think that would
be like,
work.
join us for this.
Room, pop into history. Okay.
Bounce into.
So, advisor, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, you asked something about this refugee dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that'd be interesting if you can pull it off. The main challenge is getting the space. I don't know of any good time available for that.
The
The junior
alumni
day, yeah.
Yeah,
In the
we talked
spring.
about it in the last, in the spring.
Mhm.
Is it really hard to get it in the spring?
I mean, sometimes you wanna get a good time, like around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So sometimes, if you don't want to do it during spring break, you don't want to do it towards the end of semester,
Yeah.
So
We-
that has been a challenge.
We'll have to pay too. So, I mean, I think,
When we held it 2 years ago, it paid for itself and we had extra $250.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We didn't spend money for dinner. I mean, in the end, we didn't spend money for a dinner.
but for the meeting space, they changed the rules for the Virginia Day room for a lot of my house in general. Like they have a whole new set of rules, and like you have to pay based on the equipment that you use that you actually use.
Yeah, that's what we did. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't use much stuff. We used just tables, chairs. We can borrow, if you are going to use projector, we can borrow from here or there, renting
Yeah.
from there, that kind of thing. And so in the end, we had $250 net profit out of that dinner, plus the $500 from the other organization, and we gave $750 to the library. And also when we use, you have to use a catering from UNCG.
Right.
And we chose the entree type of dinner, so it wasn't necessarily expensive, like about $12, I think, per person. And it was enough food, we had the dessert and, the entree and the drink and everything else. So it was fairly good in that regard. We had fish and vegetarian, something like that. I think we had 2 choices. We didn't want to have too many. Only challenge with the catering is they want to know the number of people. who are going to attend the dinner about at least 3-4 days in advance. They need some sort of initial confirmation a few weeks ahead of time, but so you would have some room to adjust the number.
Yeah.
And when we held the dinner, Tuesday, we had about 80 people, and it worked out fine. So
When did we do that? Did we do it last year? Did it happen last year?
no, there was a timing issue, then we
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Okay.
I think one thing would be this will be a little bit challenging in terms of all these logistics. But the other thing that the email that I sent you about this work relief.
Yeah.
So there is one work relief in High Point. They settled refugees in High Point and Winston-Salem, and I think there's another one in Greensboro that they settled in Greensboro. And what they do is they have welcome kits for new refugees. So these welcome kits actually have consist of a number of other welcome kits, so cleaning supplies, baby, that kind of thing. So they want actual people to pay for, just collect those welcome kits or create those welcome kits. So that's what they want the most.
Yeah.
And that's what we have been thinking of actually in our culture center, to actually disseminate that email to ask people to bring those kits to our center or to Road Relief. But I think from LISSA's perspective, it will be interesting to work with local libraries to use them as a site, drop-off sites, and ask people, the faculty and other people, our people in our mailing list and other avenues, so we can, if we ask people to donate those stuff or create those kits and drop them at libraries and take them to the World Relief, maybe either in Greensboro or High Point. Maybe Greensboro would be more convenient. I think that would be very impactful too.
Yeah.
So, and it will be relatively less work compared to the dinner in
Yeah.
terms of the arrangements.
Yeah, because if we're the only organization doing that, we'd also be able to help more people if we did the work relief and stuff. So,
And I mean, we have a fairly sizable community here at UNC, right? We can work with people at the library, School of Education. We can send out an email. An organization. Also, you may look into partnering with other student organizations on campus, maybe model student association. They may be interested in probably doing that. I think it would be a nice collaborative effort to take on.
One question that came up when we were discussing this idea at the last meeting is, like, if we're collecting some of the stuff, like, where will we actually put it?
I think that will be interesting is just as people drop them off at libraries in different places. I think you may want to regularly pick them up and take it to the work location, or we can speak with them how they want to handle the logistics. If they say, no, we can actually pick them up.
Okay.
And that would be more convenient for us, I think.
okay.
So if we can centralize maybe the pickup locations rather than, I don't know. I think it will be something to speak with the Greensboro Public Library and the World Relief. And also CNSC will be another partner too. You guys know CNSC?
It's the campus management.
Central North
Oh yeah,
Carolina.
Central North Carolina.
They are right under the student dorm
Yes.
on Lee Street or Gateway Boulevard now. So I think that will be easier and relatively more impactful, and there will be more partners to work with.
Right.
Uh,
So instead of the dinner.
Dinner will be good, but there are a number of variables in there, the timing and. If you guys want to take on dinner, that's fine with me. I mean,
Yeah, I would suggest.
I would rather do.
I would suggest you choose one of these two and not do both.
No,
I think it's
no.
gonna be too big.
now my recommendation would be this creating these welcome kits.
Yeah.
And check the website. I think we may want to contact someone from the Greensboro Road Relief to see how they would want to handle this kind of thing. So I think then we can move on.
Cool. Perfect.
And one more thing about the webinars. I don't know, do you guys want to do webinars like for each semester, like the one with Jennifer? I don't know.
Yeah, I sent her an email back, but we've been emailing back and forth. I don't know if you replied all. But she had like vacations, so she was like out in Ireland and stuff like that. But she's back now, and we're trying to think of days. But first, prison books.
Oh, okay. Cool. So the date is saved on November 13th. We have confirmed as a volunteer day there. And I told her 5 to 10 people. It's a pretty rough estimate. But basically, I think all we have to do now is figure out the paperwork situation. And so I don't know what is involved in travel paperwork.
So this is in Raleigh, Durham. So any travel outside of Greensboro by any member of a student group on campus must be submitted and approved at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to travel.
Okay.
So there has to be an entire group travel form submitted by the president of the group, and then each individual person who's going to be traveling has to fill out a TRB form, and it has to all be submitted together. And then once it's approved, you can do all your plans, and when you come back, I think everyone has to finish filling out the TRB form to confirm that they actually were there that day.
Is that just liability issues?
That's just the group travel policy through campus activities and programs. And so that's a requirement of being a student group recognized with UNCG. And if you do not follow these guidelines, you can be disbanded, as I've
Is it, I mean, is it connected to funding, or is it, like?
It doesn't matter if you're getting funding or not.
So if we
you're
just pretend,
traveling-
I mean, this is like not for the minutes or for any official record, but if we just
Turn the camera off.
if we just pretend like we're doing this, I mean, unofficially as a group of friends.
God, we're such
I am
rebels.
not going to condone that.
No.
I would recommend
No,
not.
I think it's about the
Is
official.
the
If you want,
reason
if you want an
for
official,
doing it
Yeah,
to
same thing.
meet a requirement of being a student association?
Oh, doing actual volunteering?
Yeah, like
Or the-
art is
the-
LISSA required to do some sort of volunteering.
We were just gonna do it.
'Cause you want
Okay.
to.
Yeah. Maybe.
So we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Would we feel t-
If
would
anyone's
it be
still,
terrible if we waited till January?
Probably not. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I can message her and just let her know that it's.
And then we can turn in the
Yeah.
forms
I would
like
say-
now.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
anyone who's interested in doing it, and I can send you the Google form that has to be filled out. You do have to have the date and time of travel when you fill that out.
Gotcha.
If you're-
6 weeks.
At least 6 weeks. Plan for 8 weeks because parts of it have to be approved before other parts can
May
be
that
done.
the travel days will be kind of like time frame. For example, can you say like we are going to plan to travel from March 1st to May 5th, something
Right.
like that, so that it will give you more room in terms of days because
Is that,
things may change.
is that something that Jeff would be doing? Thank you.
Bye, Kelly.
I like your shoes.
So you have to have the name of the event, a description, how the event benefits the group or UNCG, how important the event is on a scale of 1 to 5.
Oh, okay.
How many group members, and then you have to check if anything you're requesting reimbursement for, hotel, flying, which we probably won't be. If anyone's driving, you would probably want reimbursement for that. So, and then you have to have the departure date and time and the return date and time.
Yeah, I think then it will be kind of time frame probably, so it will be easier. So if like apply now for potential traveling sometime to, I don't know.
Right. I would have to check. I would
Yeah,
have to
check that
check
because-
with someone. The way that the form is on here, you can't. You have to have a specific day. But I can check with someone
Yeah,
to
check
see
because
about
how strict
if we
those
had a
days are.
tentative day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Would it be through Jeff or Rashawn?
Right. I'm not sure who it goes through.
Because I mean, you can't really do that much stuff online right now.
Would it be worth emailing who's ever in charge with it and see if we can get like an expedited,
Yeah.
be a special snowflake for once?
Possibly.
Okay.
I can see. I think it probably Vershawn would be the first person to contact because she's in charge of our account. Yeah.
Because Would everyone be okay with carpooling?
And that's Sunday, that's a Sunday, right? Sunday, November 13th.
And also ask for funds if available. Funds, I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah,
that would be a
so-
future us. They're like, hey, can you hurry this up? And also, can we have money? Thanks.
I mean,
So, yeah.
maybe. So
They might.
it wouldn't hurt. Just
They
ask.
probably have money left
Yeah.
over. I don't really see a lot of
Yeah.
campus stuff going on that's not like, that's group funded, not like campus.
I'm gonna send you the link to the travel form so you can look at it.
Is it, can we also put it in our LISSA
Yeah.
thingy?
I'm gonna ask how, whether those dates could be amended later time so that, and would you need to receive
Yeah.
approval for this thing again? I don't know how
Right.
it would work.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And
Oh, sorry. Oh, weird.
that was a bad sound.
Okay. While that's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and try to find my agenda again. Here we go. So if we can expedite the form November 13th at 4 p.m., good. If we cannot, then pushing it over to January.
Cool.
And then we'll just put in the forms as soon as you hear back from your contact there, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And it was packing books, is that correct? Okay.
And then we can also send maybe,
Would that be worth sending something out to the distance in that area?
Definitely, to see if
To
they.
see if anybody, especially so we can get them the form too. I don't know,
I was gonna.
would there be issues with distant student joining?
Um,
Sending info, you get what I'm
I believe
saying?
they would still have to fill out the
Okay,
form
okay.
since it's outside of Greensboro.
Okay.
If you're traveling outside of Greensboro for any part of
No matter
any trip,
where
you
you're
have to
from.
submit a
Okay.
form. And
So
yeah, I can check, but the meeting that I went to and all of the policies all say at least 6 weeks in advance.
Okay.
But
Well, in the minutes or the notes or whatever goes out to the listserv, especially make it that people in that area, if they're
Right.
interested in traveling to meet us, if we're able to make it happen in November.
We can also do a form for both January and November.
Yeah,
like
just-
see who's interested. Put it on the Facebook page and our website.
Okay.
Maybe
Get a
have
head
Grant
count.
send it out.
Okay.
That way we can
Could we-
prepare.
It may be wise to wait for the November, to wait for this to
Yeah.
see if.
Yeah.
If we can do
Right.
Yeah,
If we
see
can
if we
actually
can do
do
it
it in
first.
November. Yeah, I wouldn't send out the announcement.
Yeah. Another thing, I know with other events, so a couple of things. We talked about everyone was interested in doing the resume workshop with SCUA, and then it was brought to my attention that other, like, school media, public and private libraries also need to be done, but just because it's bigger and we'd be bringing people out from outside the university, which requires more paperwork because we're actual like entity now. So I was thinking that because Jenny Dale and Kathleen, Jenny in Reference Outreach and Instruction, and Kathleen in Special Collections University Archives are the ones who are interested in doing it, and they're university affiliated. If we could do a fall workshop for academic people in archives, and then a larger thing with more paperwork with school media, public and private libraries in the spring.
Okay.
Because I do know Laura Petit, she might be interested in doing the private sector. She works for Charles Harris, and then if you guys can think of a school media professional, or if you guys have contacts in the public library sphere that you would be interested in, who are in a hiring position, because that's the whole point, is to bring people who know how to read resumes and stuff like that.
I can ask Lori in the TRC, since she works with Dr. Akers on doing the school media visits.
Should we get to bring in like in the fall too? Should we be able? That would be perfect.
But I could ask her if she has a contact for a school, somebody who would want to maybe speak to the school media portion of that.
Perfect.
You may also think about Sandra Andrews.
Okay.
Do you know her?
No, I don't.
She used to be a faculty member here, and she is now, I forgot her title. She's in charge of, the media and everything else in Lexington County.
Cool.
One is somewhat closer to Charlotte. I forgot the name of the county, but one of those counties. I can get her email address if you want. So she is the director or something like that, kind of a higher.
Do we have dates that we could present to these people?
For the spring, it's kind of whenever they want to do it. For the fall, probably in late November, if that's okay. I was gonna bring this to you guys before I talked to Kathleen about it, because I kind of feel bad because she wanted to do it in like October, but I wasn't really sure what to do. I was like, we're gonna split it up. If that's okay with you guys, is it okay? Can we split it up?
Just split it, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just for planning all the logistics.
Yeah. And then, another thing, and then, because I know a lot of people are just like general, they don't really know what to do. Like they want to do, so it would be good to split up anyway. So I can approach Kathleen and Jenny with possibly something in November. Well, do you know any like forms that we would need to do? Informal, like this is how you write a resume.
If it's an event here in Greensboro and we are not requesting funding from the Student Government Association, then we do not have to fill out any forms.
Okay, perfect. So I would just like try to reserve like this room.
But, just as a side note though, for events for in the spring, if we submit at the very beginning of the semester,
Right.
A planning request form for events for the spring, then we can request funding for events that we have. And you can request up to 2 events that are closed specifically to LIS students. Past those 2 events, then you have to open it up to the entire university if you're receiving funding.
Okay.
And I think, I will double check, but I'm pretty sure that they cover, here somewhere. I think they will cover up to 75%, depending on what's available, but I'll double check that too. Yeah, so that's something to think about if we are planning anything that, we may need to pay for over the spring. It would be good to go ahead and plan it this fall so that we can submit to receive.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. So we can you put that form for that and the form for the proposal into the LISSA documents Google page? Is that?
The one I sent you?
No, is it just like a regular write-up proposal or is it a Google form like everything else is?
For what?
To tell them what we want to do.
Oh, it's a Google Sheets or an Excel sheet.
Oh, could you put that in the LISSA document? Okay, perfect. And then we can all take a look at that and try to get something.
Yes, it should be able to share that. Yay.
And then, so final, as far as I know, we did talk about the webinar. We're trying to get dates with Jenny. She may end up doing it in the spring, so I know she's super busy right now. But also, Amy McDonald from Society of North Carolina Archivist Education Committee. She's interested she's wondering if anyone would be interested in listening to a panel of archivists. Just kind of see how many people in the archival or are interested in the archival profession, and then getting a panel together probably in the spring with just to tell you all about archives and get in touch with some people.
Would it be would that be something we could send out in the minute and say, if you're interested, please contact, so we could, and then we could actually have like if there is enough
Yeah.
response, and then we could come back to them and say, yeah, we've got a response,
Yeah.
let's plan it, and then we can email those people when it actually happens. And cool.
You said her first name.
Amy McDonald. And have them email me because I'm on the education committee now, apparently. Yay.
And then that might even be something good to put on the social media too, to put out and say, email. Here, your email's gonna be blowing up if you're interested in this, and we will plan something around it.
Cool, sneak up. And also education. So it's perfect.
And the issue we had last year, which I think people who were here last year are aware of, for things like this, have you talked to particular faculty members in LIS about
No, I have
this?
not.
Yeah, I might try, I don't know,
Yeah, I'll send it out. It'll be
talk to them first before we can plan the event. I mean, I think it's a good idea and things like that, but I know we had some.
You're talking about the webinar?
Well, I don't know, I think this is like something, like a panel thing for archives, which is, I mean, it's a good
I
idea.
think for such kind of things, it's better to, I mean, as Ethan has a good point, because it's better to connect with the department.
Uh-huh.
And especially if you're doing something in spring, the LMI launching is going to be an event where we would hold different kinds of similar things.
Mhm.
Rather than duplicating, I think it would be built on things. But I think you may want to focus more on holding in a kind of webinar format so that it will be accessible to all.
Yeah, I mean, it would be something that,
So you could have a panel,
just-
but everyone would be online.
yeah, what she said to me, she was like, hey, Sarah May, are there a lot of archival students around, and would they be interested in hearing from people about SNCA or an archive profession in general? So I need to see who would be interested before we actually move forward.
I think you can advertise the general what happens in our professional association. I think what you may want to do is you want to go ahead and actually schedule
Mhm.
and hold the event. To determine that you can also use Google Form for people to sign up ahead of time, so that you know have an idea, or so you could send reminders to them. But I think it would be good to have this kind of webinars being recorded and made available,
It
so
would
that
definitely be recorded.
so that even though people couldn't attend live,
Yeah.
they could listen to them. So I think you may want to look at the effectiveness from that angle, not just how many people showed up, but as opposed to how many people have listened to it overall.
Yeah, like we could set something up like how Chase does with the live stream.
I mean, we have this WebEx, so use WebEx, and and you can download the file now, put it on your website, and that will be about it. And I think like this year you would focus on archives. Next year in the spring you can focus on another specialization, so that you would have a kind of nice rotation, so that every 4 years or so you would come back to, and also you would have a nice collection of previous webinars on the same subject.
That would be cool. Yay!
I mean, so you wouldn't have to duplicate anything that's going to be done at the LMI luncheon. Plus, there will be something that would be accessible to everyone.
Right. Yeah. Is it something that we can move forward like without having?
I think so. You can just want to check
Especially
with
if it's in
Dr.
one.
Hirschberger, and let her know that you have been considered doing something like this as a webinar. But I think the timing would be important. So you may want to do it earlier in the spring, so that there won't be any kind of conflict.
Yeah. I don't think we have a date, but yes.
That would be my suggestion. Anything that you're going to do in person, I think that should be coordinated with the department. I mean, for your own benefits. Otherwise, you guys have to do more stuff than less.
And there was some kind of, whenever I brought up the workshop before, there was,
The resume workshop.
there was kind of a conflict with 650, but not everybody does a resume workshop in 650. And most people like it whenever multiple people look at their CVs or resume, like I have a lot of people.
How did it go last year? We thought about having thought about asking people to send their resumes. And
I actually did it.
we did it.
But I went to the one that SCUA did the year before last, like when I was an undergrad, and they had plenty of LIS people there.
Mhm.
And it didn't seem to be. It was successful.
I think that would be good for LISSA, not to do kind of anything first, but you may want to recruit people like people from archive field, like
Yeah.
panel. Create this pool and ask people to send their resumes by this particular date if they want to have them reviewed by people. Then have them reviewed and just connect people rather than trying to hold the whole thing. Just put them in Google Docs, sort them, and who you want your resume to review, archives person or someone from special libraries, and just match them.
Okay,
And-
so instead of having like one, like an actual event
Now I don't
for
think
everybody
yeah.
comes,
And they can come and leave their comments on their resumes on a Google Doc so they can see everyone could benefit.
Yeah.
That might be good.
And this would be kind of, you can do it even every semester if you want to do so, because
Yeah, that would probably.
you will be unlimited in terms of who you can find to review those resumes.
I don't have to worry about bringing.
Space, you don't have to worry about it.
Would that be something that you guys would be interested in doing instead?
Actually, even create the Google folders that
Yeah.
if you're on access, let them upload their stuff by this date.
School libraries,
then-
public libraries.
Yeah. Let them upload and
Cool, okay. That sounds good. I like that idea. But then we could go and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
no, I mean this will be totally different than what department
Yeah,
has been doing. So, and I think the department will be very supportive too.
okay, yay.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Hirschberger, check with her and Dr. O'Connor, who they may suggest in terms of reviewers, because they may have other contacts. So you would have a larger pool, so it would be easier for everyone.
And that's also something that with the education committee, since they were interested in anything else, it's also something that they could, the people who are interested, like Amy McDonald's, she was interested in helping out, she might be able to review a few resumes as well. And we can pull some other people like Mike Crupton. I know he knows people.
Why not? I mean, just tap on existing resources rather than trying to reinvent the whole thing.
Okay. Perfect. Yay. Is there anything else? Any other ideas? Event worries?
I don't have any.
Okay. Who would like to adjourn? Would someone like to move to adjourn?
I'm an ex-officio. I cannot.
I'll move.
Otherwise,
A tandem.
Perfect. Okay. Yay. Adjourned. Meeting adjourned. 4:35. That was a quick ending, but thank you all.
thank you guys. Good luck.
Thank you,
Let me know
Sarah.
if I can look for assistance.